This is Brendan Donovan's 35th game as a big leaguer. Doesn't play like it. You know,
Ooh, that's hardcore,
I knew there'd
man.
be blowback.
You're ballsy.
But I left it up there.
Well, how about Brendan Donovan, too?
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, and then he's got to, of course, apologize for tweets somebody had before.
What was he for? I saw that.
Jim, it's ridiculous.
14? Was he really 14?
It's 2013.
Let it go.
Who thinks of that? Because he's got great hair and he's kicking ass. Yeah, he's doing too good. I got to look up something on him. Let me bring him down a notch.
I just think the amazing thing about him is, first, he's been at third, second, short, first, right field.
He's doing everything.
He's been everywhere. And then, but what I like about him is he's facing veteran pitchers and having a really good at-bat. He's had some big hits, but you always know you're going to get a really good at-bat. He's stretching them out 8, 9, 10 pitches. He's really impressive.
Yeah. No, I know.
Very under the radar.
Yeah,
never heard about him. It was Gorman, Yepes,
kind of came in, but people
Yep.
were talking Yepes, and then they're talking Gorman, and Donovan's been the best one of the bunch.
We don't win that game last night if he doesn't throw that guy out at home.
It was amazing.
That was a big play.
What about Gorman? How's he doing, by the way? What did he do yesterday? Did he screw up?
He didn't on a drop third strike. He didn't run, which I think would happen. If you don't see the ball, you don't know to run. So yeah. He should have. I don't know how big a deal that he looks like a major leaguer. He's got tremendous power. He crushes the ball. I just hope that back issue is not something that sticks around. Hopefully it won't.
Yeah, he's a stud, but I also think his rookie year, first time up, he's going to struggle against lefties. He's going to strike out a ton, but he's also going to hit 440-foot bombs. So you deal with that. Defensively at second, you don't love that. But that's where Brendan Donovan, you can put that guy anywhere.
It's amazing.
And you feel good about him defensively, whether it's infield, whether it's corner outfield. And so he reminds me of some of those, even calling him super utility types, because I feel like when you say that, you think of, all due respect, because we love the Daniel Descalzos and the Aaron Miles.
How about a Zobrist?
That's what I'm saying, because his upside, as an offensive weapon, if he could be anything close to a Zobrist and actually give you power, and think about it, you have another guy like that in Tommy Edman that you can move around everywhere.
And they're
going to
need that flexibility because you want to give these guys looks. And now you got Tyler O'Neill on a rehab. You got Dylan Carlson on a rehab. Those guys are going to be coming back soon. And then pitching-wise, Flaherty, 3 scoreless innings for Springfield. That kind of surprised me that he was that advanced in his first rehab. I know he's been throwing these up and downs, but that's not the same as playing in an actual game. So, yeah, the Cardinals are playing well. We'll see how it goes in Tampa starting tomorrow night. I'll be heading
You're leaving there tonight, eh?
Yeah. But, right now they're playing very well. Granted, it's the Cubs. I agree that, they took 3 of 5 against the Cubs, who aren't a very good team. But overall, they're playing well. They wouldn't be playing well without the contributions of these young guys.
Right, and that's where I still think, as I said last Friday, I think the Cardinals are going to win a ton of games. Right now, if I had to put money on it, I think they'll win the division. Because when they get Flaherty back, when they get Matz back, even if Jordan Hicks is a bulk reliever, you're going to get Tyler O'Neill back. Think about the names I'm bringing up. You're going to get Dylan Carlson back, and they're already a half game out. So all that being said, I weirdly, as I'm watching the games this weekend, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but it was just kind of, they won the series, but the Cubs suck. And also I feel like if the game wasn't a blowout, at the end of every game, I just felt like the Cardinals were going to win, and they did those close games because you just knew that the Cardinals were going to execute what it took to win a game late, whether it's ninth or extra innings. And the Cubs multiple times did dumb stuff, whether it's not getting the bunt down to advance the runner. And that's the difference. The Cardinals are a good team. The Cubs aren't. So when you get to a close game late, the Cardinals win most of those games and the Cubs don't.
Yeah. Cards have a deeper, better lineup, so they're going to have guys coming up to the plate or out of the bullpen that'll put you in a better position to win, no question about that.
Sir Nathaniel, how's our boy Bader doing?
Bader had a big hit last night.
That's what I saw.
He rolled into third base and
a great defensive play too.
Yeah, great defensive play. Look, I agree exactly with what Charlie just said. The Cardinals are just a better team than Chicago. We'd be having a vastly different, I feel like, conversation here if the Cardinals lost the nightcap on Saturday, which, to their credit, they pulled out, and then after Sosa misses third base, and then last night, when you don't score a run in extra innings in Major League Baseball with the runner on second base in the top of the 10th inning as the road team, you're not really expected to win that game. In fact, the win probability goes through the roof.
Yeah.
But they did. And so kudos to them.
Yeah, you can only play the teams they put in front of you. I agree.
Oh,
Cubs
it's not
Cubs
a
are
shot.
Not a good team. The thing that makes me feel pretty good about the Cardinals in the Central, too, is that the Brewers don't hit. They got good pitching, but they really don't hit. You look at their lineup last night. They had one guy batting over 249 in the entire lineup. And if Yelich isn't a monster in the middle of that lineup, which he looked okay against the Cardinals, but overall he's in 218, 216, something like that, they're going to have a lot of games where they're going to get good pitching, but not enough hitting to win the game. And I think that puts the Cardinals in a good position.
Kyle chimes in, 855-282-8255. By the way, Kyle chimes in, somewhere along the lines, I've compared Donovan to St. Louis legend Bill Mueller.
Bill Miller.
Bill Miller? Miller or Mueller?
It's Miller.
He put Mueller.
It's spelled Mueller.
Well, that's confusing.
I know.
It's not your fault.
That
but
helps differentiate him from the classic utility fielder and maybe something more. And Eric in Central West End, who's a great dude, by the way, very handsome. Brendan Donovan, the swing reminds me of Bill Miller. And Doug
Minkiewicz.
God.
Remember Doug Minkiewicz in the 04 World Series? He kept the ball, and that caused a huge stir because Boston hadn't won in 100-plus years.
He pulled a pronger?
He put that ball in his back pocket, and I think there was some controversy as to who was getting that baseball.
Wow. Like Prongs did that when they lost to Kaner. When he scored that OT goal that no one knew went in. He stole that puck. That's gutless. Guys, I have grown somewhat close to Donovan's family over the last handful of years. And he isn't anything like what those tweets from his mid-teenage years would indicate. Some dumb Cubs fans acting dumb. He's a great kid from a great family. Thanks, Kyle. Damn right.
His dad is in the military, served overseas. He said moms are superheroes, especially his, because when his dad was overseas, I guess he had a brother, a sister, and himself that played sports.
Yep.
And he said, Mom got us everywhere. I don't know how she did it.
Man.
So life's back to normal. The Cubs are starting to worry about what the Cardinals are doing again.
Yeah. Funny how that is. What can we do? Let's dig some tweets up. Yeah.
So it was Cubs fans that did this?
I think so. What is that what happened, Nate?
I have no idea. I know that there was an article written, though, about how, when the Cubs grow up, they should be more like the Cardinals.
Yeah, there was an article because basically what it says is, and that, last night they were saying, well, St. Louis is smaller than Lexington, Kentucky. They said that it isn't.
No, it's
all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Even if you're just going by the population of the city, we're still bigger than Lexington.
Yeah.
Right, but they don't take into account the suburbs and everything, which makes St. Louis like the 23rd market in the United States. We're not a little helpless, tiny market. But the article was basically, the Cubs have this giant city to pull from, and they're rebuilding again, and it's another year where Cubs fans have nothing to root for, whereas the Cardinals stay consistently in the mix. Yeah. That's what that article.
The Cubs were the dynasty. Literally the media darlings. They graced them as the next, Yankees. They were going to win 5 pennants.
I don't really understand, though, how in a the Cubs they always have fans, even when they're terrible, because going to Wrigley is fun. It's a tradition.
Well, Jimmy, they have fans when the Cardinals show up.
No, they draw pretty well.
I don't know about that. I've talked to several Wrigleyville bar owners who said that if the Cardinals didn't come to town twice over the summer, they'd have a hard time making it. Like their bottom line. They said that it's not like that when the Pirates come to town. I know they're fans.
I get that. But my point is, you're a big city with a team that has a tradition. How can you be losing money when they went on that run? They had a nice team. I actually think they had likable players on that team. And then to go from that where they got to scrap it and then scrap it again. And then, Contreras, like him or not, it's a pretty good player. He's going to be gone. Like any player they have now that has value is going to be gone, and the fans are going to have to put up with that again.
I'll tell you this, I wouldn't, Busch Stadium's so nice and comfortable and big and open and updated. Like going to Wrigley, it's historic, but how
I love
the
it.
parking, the seats probably suck, the bathrooms probably suck, the food's expensive, everything's expensive.
Stop it.
I'm just
awesome. Wrigley is awesome.
I love it. How could you not?
Because I like up-to-date stuff.
And
I know it's
thing.
historic. I want my seat to fit.
Here's the other thing, too. Like, it's not like New York, Yankees, Red Sox. It's not like Giants, Dodgers, where someone's going to get, a broken bone. The Cards-Cubs rivalry is actually, for the most part, really friendly, where it's like friendly jabs back and forth. And Wrigley, I love old stadiums. That place is fun because every game is more than just the game. It's almost like a party at Wrigley. I love it there.
Plus, they have their own ballpark village, whatever the hell they call it. Very cool. They have the rooftop seats, which is very unique. Wrigleyville's awesome.
It's a dump.
I was thinking about this. One of the coolest things.
Dude, it's fantastic.
One of the coolest things I ever did with the pregame show is, I don't know how I finagled this, but I got Matt Carpenter to do an interview with me across the street on one of the rooftop decks. So I had to set that up in advance to get access to it. They let us go up there. But the best thing is, literally an hour and 15 minutes before a game at Wrigley, where fans are everywhere, there's Matt Carpenter in full Cardinals uniform walking across the street to get into this building. That's pretty cool.
Nate, I'm not going to read that.
Don't read that.
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
Some call Wrigley the world's largest bar with a little something in there.
Who says that?
Oh, okay.
There were shirts made at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not the reason why I don't like it. I don't like it because I like new, updated things. I just do. I'd rather go to, I guess, Pittsburgh maybe, and sit in that place than sit in a small.
I'll bet if you went to Wrigley
I've
with
been there.
me, Charlie, Nate, and Seth, we got seats. I bet you'd have a blast.
I've been there
love
before.
it.
I've been there before. Whatever.
Now, one of the things we didn't get to that we were going to is Seth's weekend.
What?
Because
You're staring at me.
Well, I know you're a very happily married man now, but my point is, if you were back in your Seth days, in your early 20s, and you're a single dude, if you're going to Wrigley Field with the boys, it's fantastic.
No, I know. I get that.
Anywhere
with the boys is fantastic. You're going to have fun.
You
one
don't
way
think
or
if
the other.
we all went as a group, we all had a day, I wasn't working, and we all went to Wrigley, you don't think we'd have fun? I do.
Of course we would.
100%.
I'd leave early to go to Tavern on the Rush.
I think the Wrigleyville bar scene. Look, we all love St. Louis. It's great. It's the best. Everything's the best here.
No, it's not.
But the
We have toasted
Wrigleyville,
Ravs. We have
the
toasted Ravs.
Wrigleyville bar scene as a young partier is elite.
And that's cool. That's the bar scene. I'm just saying, the
Okay,
comfortability.
but it's part of the game atmosphere. Is what I'm saying.
But isn't even sitting watching a game at Wrigley cool?
I love it. I love old parks. I love Fenway. I love Wrigley.
I'm just not in it to appreciate it enough.
You would, if you went with me, you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Cam might
I know I
enjoy
would.
the rooftop experience because that's just more like a party.
Yeah, I get you.
And you have easier access to the bathrooms. 'Cause at
Bathrooms
Wrigley,
are, yeah.
You got big troughs.
That's what I mean.
You got big troughs.
I like, I don't know.
Okay, but is it really that much different than a line of urinals?
Depends on how long the line is.
I don't think Cam likes people looking at his business.
No.
It's because of the drug test.
I know. He weirded me out like no other. I'm
You're
like,
scarred.
Because Tom Selleck once drug tested you.
He
You
wasn't
can't
Tom
pee
Selleck.
in a trough.
God, he'd stare at me naked.
And also, where I stand in the camera well, there's no special bathroom, so I got to go into the. So I just go, excuse me, famous journalist coming through. Get out of space, guys.
Get out of my way. Donovan is awesome. What's up with the loser Cubs fans stirring the pot in his old homophobic tweets? Of course, not much is said about the Cubs starter Killian's tweets using now bad word gay. Leave Donovan alone. He was 14, 16 years old at the time. That's young. But again, if you're 14, 16, get off of Twitter.
Yes. But I don't
seriously, get off of Twitter.
I don't think back then people understood what Twitter could be.
Yeah.
And you're just a dumb kid.
I get you. Twitter's just, there's nothing. When you're young, go on Facebook, you want to see your buddies. Twitter is a different animal. Nothing good's going to come out of that when you're 14 years old.
Go on TikTok.
Go on TikTok. Look at the girls dancing.
It didn't exist back in the day. So
Yeah,
I would
that's right.
say, look, you shouldn't look them up. Those people are losers. You shouldn't have tweeted it, but also you were young. Here's our part. If you're an athlete, This is now we're about 5, 6, 7 years into the game of digging up old tweets. If you're a professional athlete,
boom.
How do you not just delete your entire Twitter and start over?
Start over. Your agent should tell you. Your agent should tell you right off the bat.
That's true.
You're right. Okay, somebody's like, wow. Let's stay on topic here. Let's hear about Seth's weekend.
Well, thank you, text line.
Should we?
Another tease.
Should we go to break?
Last tease we didn't get to at all.
We didn't get. No, I talked about Peelsley.
Well,
There's not much to do. What?
No, I'm saying I think that's interesting. I think Seth's weekend is interesting.
All right,
how do we
we'll
tease it?
By the way, you're wearing a Bradley University T-shirt. Usually, you only wear free ones. Was that free?
100%.
It might have been. It's not very quality.
I can tell it's hanging off you. It's a crappy shirt.
Honestly, it might have been thrown to me in the stands as a basketball.
And you're like,
game
ooh,
attendant.
yes.
I don't think
my Friday night.
I would not have paid for this.
No, it's that crappy ass.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Is Hersey Hawkins the greatest basketball player in the history of Bradley?
So you got Hersey Hawkins and Chet the Jet Walker,
who was great with the Bulls for a long time.
He was really good. And then this goes really far back. And if anybody's listening, if you want a really interesting story, so his name was, I believe his real name was Gene, but they called him Squeaky Melchior. So this dude was going to be, I think, the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. And when the Bradley Braves, we need to vet and verify this, I believe they lost in the NIT finals when that was actually the big tournament. So this guy got banned from the NBA for point shaving.
Really?
So this is back in the 50s.
That's an interesting story.
It's a really, really interesting story. There's been articles and books written about it. His name is Squeaky Melchior. I believe he shaved some points back in the day at Bradley. He was going to be a big NBA star back in the 50s, and he was never allowed to play in the NBA.
A guy named Squeaky, man, you don't trust him. You just don't.
You had Peoria is right in the middle of mob country. Yeah. Honestly, you're in between Chicago and St. Louis.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Got some gangsters wanting you to throw some games for you.
Yeah, the mob don't exist in St. Louis anymore, does it?
I mean, I don't know.
I think they're gone.
I mean, I don't know.
But this was 70 years ago.
They were still kicking in.
I'm not worried about the mob in St. Louis. Let's be honest.
We got
other problems. We got other problems.